Stephen Bridges is the interim director and senior curator and director of curatorial affairs at MSU's renowned Broad Museum, and it's great to welcome him for the first time to MSU Today. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Russ. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Can you start with a little bit of your background and what originally got you interested in the arts and museums?
Absolutely, Russ. Yes. So I grew up in Syracuse, New York, and I grew up with a healthy appreciation and love for the arts, mostly on the making side. So I grew up making a lot of art, painting, photography was a huge passion of mine for years. Eventually went to college to study the arts as well as art history. That's where I was really exposed to the idea of kind of creating not only art, but actually exhibitions of art. And that kind of led me into the curatorial field and, of course, into museum work more generally.
In 2015, what attracted you to coming to MSU and the Broad?
Absolutely. So in 2015, I was living in Chicago, and I'd been in Chicago for about 10 years. That's where I went to go do my graduate work at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, where I got 2 master's degrees. At that point, I was working at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago and was really looking for a change. And at that time, a position opened up here at MSU at the Eli Neathbroad Art Museum. And the University Art Museum was something that I didn't have a lot of experience with. You know, different museums have a different kind of nature and quality to them, depending on how they're situate within their public freestanding institution or a university art museum or an art center, collecting, non-collecting. There's all these different dynamics. So the museum here had an opening. I started to, look into it, learn a little bit more about it and about MSU, and of course was enamored with the architecture of Zaha Hadid and thought this is a truly unique experience, one unlike any other that I could ever have. Let's go for it and see what happens. And so in November of 2015, I moved here to East Lansing. I had visited once prior to that, but I have to say I've really enjoyed being here. I love working at MSU, and of course there's not a more dynamic institution than the Broad Art Museum.
Yeah, cool. So then a couple of months ago, what made you want to be the interim director and lead the museum?
Sure, Russ. Yes. So since starting here at the end of 2015, I've actually held, let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe this is my 4th position, I think, with the institution. So increasing levels of leadership and responsibility throughout that time. And certainly as I've come to really understand the museum, but also the university, and as well as the kind of greater Lansing and kind of mid-Michigan region, I've grown to love it here, and I see the opportunity that exists here, both, of course, personally and professionally for myself, but also for the institution and engagement with the audiences that we serve. So my passion for this museum, for the staff at the museum, many of whom that I've known for many years now, and who are dearly beloved to me, as well as the communities that I've kind of inserted myself into, and hopefully also I'd like to think become a part of, belong to myself. To be in the service of the university and to those communities is something I'm passionate about and want to kind of further lean into.
And in many ways, it seems like just yesterday, but the Broad is celebrating 10 years of being open to the public this fall. So take us back a little bit on the sort of the history, the mission, and how that mission has evolved over that decade.
Absolutely, Russ. Yes, it's incredible. So on November 10th, the museum will turn 10 years old, and that's an incredible feat. At the same time, I've been here, I'll be 7 years come November, so I haven't been here the entire stretch of time, but nearly so at this point. And, it's been incredible what we've achieved over that past 10 years. So when the museum opened and was founded in 2012, there was a great outpouring of show of support and excitement. And I think, throughout the years that's continued, as well as also perhaps softening some of the hard angles, if you will, of the museum to kind of bring a greater diversity of audiences, to build a sense of inclusivity. The museum is on this campus and service again to MSU and to the broader kind of mid-Michigan regions that we serve. So wide range of exhibitions we promoted, lots of course and kind of faculty engagement, student engagement, but these are also areas I think we can really lean into further and kind of further develop. I'd also say that over the past several years, the collection has started to feature more prominently in our galleries. And so we really want to bring out the collection, which formerly was known as the Kresge Art Museum collection, and make sure that that's a pivotal hallmark piece of who we are as an institution.
So talk about Broad to 10 and some other ways you'll celebrate and acknowledge the decade of the Broad Museum.
Absolutely. So we have a number of exciting programs, as you can imagine, coming up this fall. One, Broad to 10, to celebrate our 10th anniversary. And so this event will take place on September 17th at 7:30 p.m. All are welcome. It is also a fundraiser, so there are tickets that need to be purchased in advance of that event. But all the proceeds go to supporting a major project, a major lower level renovation of the museum known as the Open Storage Center. And that will be a permanent home for our collection at the museum, something that we know that our community has asked for many years, and will also offer grounding for lots of engagement with student and faculty across the university.
And what about just some exhibits and or events in the days and months and even years ahead you'd like to highlight?
Thank you, Russ. Yes, on September 9th, we're going to open a major retrospective exhibition of the work of Zaha Hadid. And so housed within the architecture of her building, we're going to present one of the largest retrospectives and most comprehensive surveys of her design work that's ever been featured in North America. So this will be nearly the entire museum, upwards of 5 to 6 galleries worth of her work inside her architecture, and it'll be an incredible experience to behold. So on September 9th, we'll have a public opening for that exhibition from 7 to 9 p.m. And then shortly following after that, later that week, on September 16th, we have another featured artist that will be on site, Latoya Ruby Frazier. And Latoya's project focuses on the Flint water crisis, and that exhibition is open now, and she will be present with us the evening of September 16th from 6 to 8 p.m., and we hope that people will come out and meet her and learn more about that project.
And Stephen Bridges, we mentioned you're the interim director of the Broad Museum. However long you're the leader, are there some goals you'd like to accomplish?
One, carrying forward this major project, this renovation, to make sure that the collection has a more permanent and visible home within our institution. That's really something that I'm passionate about and something I want to see through to completion. We've also recently amassed and collected one of the largest kind of, if you will, micro collections of Zaha Hadid works at the museum. And so we want to make sure that the focus on her, the role that she had in architecture, design, in art more broadly, continues to be a focus and identity piece for our institution moving forward. I would say too that there's so much great opportunity for us to continue to embed ourselves and integrate ourselves across campus, and so we're a part of this university arts and culture and collections unit on campus now, and this integration of arts across campus is really important. So while we hope that people always come and visit us, I want to make it a considered and more effort to get the arts into classrooms, into other areas of campus, and make those connections to make sure that all students and all faculty understand the importance of working the arts into the curriculum, into the experience more generally at the university.
What a great initiative. And what about along the way, maybe some both challenges and opportunities in getting to those goals?
Well, where we are positioned on campus is both a huge benefit to us, being at the kind of brink or the gateway between university, campus, and then of course our greater communities. But there's a lot more campus that sits to the south of us and all around us. And so, again, breaking down some of those barriers, shortening those distances and making sure that people understand that we exist here for them in the service of them is really important to me. But that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of outreach, a lot of communication, a lot of relationship building, all stuff that I love, being a very social person and the opportunity to work with a wide range of people. But I think asserting the role of the arts on campus and the importance of arts as a tool for research within a research context, a way for the arts to kind of show and think about things differently is really something that I'm, again, passionate about, and I hope to kind of bring others into the folds.
Stephen, summarize what you'd like us to know about the Broad Museum as it almost begins its 11th year, and make your pitch for visitors.
Exactly. Thanks, Russ. Exactly. So 10 years have been incredible. These anniversary years are always great moments for reflection, but it's also about the future. We've set a great groundwork for this institution in the past 10 years, but the next 10 years are going to be even more exciting. We have new projects, new ideas coming forward, strategic planning that will open up new ideas and room for growth and expansion. And most importantly, we want to make sure that everyone understands that we exist for them. We are free. We are now going to be open starting actually this Wednesday through Sunday, so 4 days a week. 5 days a week, excuse me. Whether or not you're interested in contemporary art or ancient art and antiquities, or you're looking for family day programs or other kind of educational opportunities, the museum has so much to offer, and we hope that you come for one thing and you experience so much more.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for coming in today and telling us about the Broad.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate it.
That's Stephen Bridges. He's the interim director of the Broad Museum at Michigan State University. Everything we've talked about simply at broadmuseum.msu.edu. And I'm Russ White. This is MSU Today.